Hi, good evening there. Satnam, my name is Rajinder Singh and welcome to another show of It Conscious Living. And as you know, the whole idea of the show is to bring people who inspire us through the community and do amazing things. And as usual, I will introduce you to the people, but I think sometimes it's nice if they introduce themselves. So it's all yours. Please tell me, who are you and a bit about yourself.
My name is Harinder Singh Paul, and I'm the CEO and founder of a charity called Vision Care for Homeless People.
Okay, could you tell, what the actual charity is about?
Yeah, basically we're a charity that we have fully kitted consulting rooms, which is where you have the eye test inside homeless centres, and we have homeless people who come in and we give them free eye tests through volunteer opticians, and we give them brand new glasses, giving them the gift of sight, because a lot of homeless people may have had their glasses broken because they're attacked on the streets, or because they're moving from hostels, they lose their glasses. Many homeless people can't even fill out application forms
because of
glasses. So we actually provide that service free of charge.
That's a lovely service.
Okay.
And yes.
Well, my name is Raghurai Singh, and I'm involved in a charity called the Guru Ramdas Project, which takes Kundalini yoga, meditation, and alternative therapies, and other interfaith work to various places in London, like it could be men's prisons, women's prisons, domestic violence, children with learning difficulties, some mangas, down and out, and also drug and addiction. So we give them specific tools for them to be able to deal with their own health.
Wow.
And we've been doing it for quite some time.
Okay. Well, see, what I like about this show, honestly, Sangaji, is basically you meet people who totally inspire you. I mean, I'm just sitting here and, you're hearing about these amazing charities. You mentioned that, people, for example, homeless people who cannot see or their glasses are broken. My question is, there must be some kind of inspiration or something that triggers you to look in that area. I mean, is it something you do professionally, or?
Yes, I'm an optometrist by profession.
Okay.
And I've been qualified now for 17 years. And one of the ideas or thoughts I had when I first became an optician was to give my profession a chance to help other people. And it was something that I wanted to do, but never had the inclination or the oomph to actually go out and do it. So it was more just a thought, and I thought one day it'd be good to do that.
I think a lot of us are. Yeah. I mean, it's that. Oh, I will do it something one day. Yeah. But what made you step into reality?
About 1987, I became very involved in personal development, and who I am today is completely different to who I was 15 years ago. Okay. Who I will be in 6 months will be different today. So I started following my dreams, whether it's in the area of money, relationships, charity, making a difference.
Yeah.
And now I live a created life. I create my life. Before I was like a cog in a machine, operating 9 to 5, and I wasn't following the dreams. I had the dreams, but I had no way of achieving them. So when I got into personal development, I realized that I can be and do and achieve anything that I want. So that's what gave me the inspiration.
So you were already an optician.
Yes.
So you were following a professional lifestyle already in that sphere.
Yes.
So you were looking to expand to other areas. Yeah. Would that be correct?
It is correct, but even my ego or my selfishness was, I want to do these things, but it's going to cost money. I have to give up my time.
Yeah.
I used to actually laugh at people. It's embarrassing to say this now because that's who I was then.
Yeah.
That used to spend £1,000 and go and do work overseas to make a difference there's a charity called Vision Aid overseas. And I used to think, are they crazy? They're going to pay £1,000, take 2 weeks of their own time, and not get paid for it. And that's who I was before. And then when I got into personal development, I realized that life's not about me. It's about making a difference. And I am the most alive and the most excited and the most happiest when I help other people.
That's amazing. I can feel that.
Yeah.
Rugged, I think there are similarities here. I feel. We had a brief chat earlier. I mean, you were saying that your life has changed as well.
Well, it started changing in 1994. No? But before that, I was born in a small community. So in Spain, my father comes from, has vineyards, and I used to grow vineyards and make wine. Following that tradition, and I decided to leave that tradition and come over to Britain. Yes. Learn different language, different lifestyle, and I work basically as an administrator.
Okay.
Working in the Spanish consulate and working for solicitors, but that was not very fulfilling. Always working for somebody else. Yeah. And particularly for solicitors, make solicitors quite wealthy in some ways. Well, money, really. Yeah. I started questioning all these issues. So I went to university, and after university, I studied sort of what kind of journalism do I want to investigate. Political. I studied politics and economics. European politics. I just didn't see myself as that. After finishing, I went into healthcare.
Okay.
So I worked for a magazine. Now it's no longer running, and it was about health. And
which is an area which I feel, because you were saying to me earlier, and in terms of you're qualified, is it psychotherapist? Have I got the correct word?
It's a whole journey.
Okay.
So in '94 it was the switch of my health deteriorating, and I thought, well, there's something I have to do.
Okay.
I've studied and looked at alternative therapies.
I was just noticing, interestingly, that was 1994. So that was, what, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
And yours was 15 years ago. Was there something happening around that time?
Middle-life crisis.
I'm not that old.
No. Middle-life crisis starts from any time 30 onwards.
Yeah. I'm only 21.
Okay, that's really young.
Actually, I took you for 19, but No, that's amazing, actually. So you went to healthcare, and then what was it about the aspect of assisting or helping the larger community? I think that's the question that hits me, because obviously everyone can identify, but we are in a daily grind. I think you mentioned that as well, and you mentioned that you took that step going into other areas. If I could just come onto yourself, there must have been something, because there's a fear factor. I'm assuming that is the main reason. What have you done that a lot of people hope they can do?
It's funny you say that, Regina, because when I first had the idea to run the charity, I was actually in South Africa, and I visited a really poor township. And I got off the minibus, and I clearly remember this moment to this day, and I noticed not one person was wearing glasses. And that really hit me, and I thought, enough is enough. When I get back to the UK, I'm going to personally go in and do an eye test once a week in homeless centres. But when I came back, I got scared again, and I didn't do anything for 3 or 4 months. And that nothing happened. And then what had me get into it was, at the time I was involved in a personal development course. And at the time, there was a few of us, and I actually had a coach. And a coach is someone that has you follow your dreams.
A mentor or something?
A mentor.
Yeah. And
I thank him to this day, because without him, I wouldn't have done it. And he said to me, what do you need to achieve? So basically, I had a vision of creating a worldwide charity that does eye tests for homeless people. And that's what my vision was. And when I told people this, they laughed at me.
Really?
They laughed at me thinking, you're being very, in cloud cuckoo land, you're being very far-fetched in what you're thinking. And then, one of the things I've learned is you don't have to have the whole journey mapped out in front of you before you start something. Yeah. And if you do, that's going to stop you. Because most people, I feel, when they want to achieve something, they think, what do I do? How will I do it? How is this going to happen? And I realized that, as the Chinese proverb, the longest journey is beginning with the first step.
First step, yeah.
And it's that example, if you're driving from London to Birmingham at night time, you'll only ever see about 100 yards with the headlights. Yeah. You won't see Birmingham.
Okay. Yeah? Yeah.
So you only need to know the next 100 yards. Or if you're walking up a step of stairs, you don't look unless you take each step at a time. So I just took the first step, and the first step was just spending 5 minutes, in fact, Rajinder, making a list of people that I knew that were opticians that would like to work with me.
Fantastic, yeah.
So the 5 minutes was the crucial bit. Okay, who do I contact? And then the next step was making the phone calls. And that's all it was. It wasn't about how we're going to run the charity, how we're going to get in touch with homeless people, where's the money going to come from. It was none of that. It was the first step.
That's really interesting. That was, you know, I think most of us feel, you know, myself included, oh, you know, I'd like to do so much, but what if, what if, and, you know, that fear factor. I mean, back to yourself, Raghuram, I mean, you were saying, you know, you got into the healthcare industry, but what was it that changed your life in terms of, I'm saying this simply because I know that not only are you a qualified Kundalini yoga teacher, but you're a teacher's teacher. So, you know, that goes a step further. And and I know, you know, myself being a qualified teacher, there's a lot of learning we have to do. So, and as I say, you go to homeless shelters yourself?
No, I mean, I teach chair-based for people, the elderly.
Okay.
And I've been teaching for some time at the London Lighthouse, people dealing with HIV and AIDS and hepatitis. Now that has changed, so I've moved the class over to Shepherd's Gurdwara and general health.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you do a class
there. 50. So those three areas. I'm much more interested in putting something into the community than making money out of the yoga. But I do teacher training, and the teacher training is much wider. It goes. I travel to Spain, Portugal, France.
It's interesting because, as I say, both of you, you know, I mean, the main word that's coming on is that you're out there to help the community. You know, you have this desire within yourself to help the community in such a positive way. Raghuram, you said you come from Spain originally, so you're not of Indian origin.
No.
So, you know, you were at the Star. I mean, what was the Sikhi side? How did that come in? You know, if you don't mind asking, because what was the spiritual side?
It took time, but
yes.
The Dharma developed. I was doing it anyway. I started working voluntarily in some charities.
Okay.
And so that work in the community was there.
Yes.
And then the chanting sort of attracted me. And when I heard my first teacher with the chanting, started with the tuning in on Namo Gurudev Namo. So what is this? Because I grew up in a family that I'm not particularly religious, quite anti actually. My father was quite anti-religion, so that was within me, and I thought this is a contrast.
Okay.
And it actually grew on me, just sitting there doing, first of all, the yoga, and then the meditations, and the chanting really grows.
So was it the first time you'd heard these? I'm assuming it's quite different, you know, like because as I say, with Kundalini Yoga, it is just the yoga, but for viewers, I mean, could you explain to the viewers who may not know what Kundalini Yoga is? You know, because I talk to so much of the Sangat, and sometimes I take for granted they know, but you know, just in a quick thing. And I want to come back to you because I understand that, you know, amazingly, and we just found out as well, talking, you do yoga as well.
Yeah, my wife's a yoga teacher.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to you in a moment. Yes.
Well, Kundalini is the energy that rises from underneath the spine through the chakras right up to the top, and it needs to settle down.
Yes.
And needs to be opened up, and opened up safely with a series of exercises, breathing exercises and movement.
Yeah.
So it takes time, and Kundalini Yoga is a combination, if you like it, of all the yogas. It actually has a direct link to Raj Yoga. And that's where we come in with Guru Ramdas.
Which is interesting because it's Guru Ramdas Ji's birthday on Sunday, so that fits in nicely, actually. Yeah.
So he sat on the throne of Raj Yoga.
Okay.
And Raj Yoga, the royal yoga, the yoga of the mind.
Okay.
And that's also I come into. I've done, I'm a psychotherapist, counselor psychotherapist by profession, so yoga of the mind really struck with me.
Which makes sense, yeah, because I think in Granada he said, you conquer the mind.
You conquer the mind, you conquer the world.
Yes.
So in a way, but you have to engage the body.
Yeah.
You cannot forget the body. And some people make a lot of mistakes that they go through life, working really hard, building families, making money, a profession,
yes.
but they forget about the bodies.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, I have come across in terms of, they have worked very hard, general people, but, I think it takes a toll on their body, but they haven't replenished the body and spiritual side, I guess, on that side. So you were saying as well, you do yoga and your wife's a yoga teacher. How does that fit in? And do tell me a bit, about that side.
In terms of the yoga, again, I always wanted to do yoga, and I met my wife, and there was a calling from me to her, because I chose my partner as well through manifesting and visualization, through meditations. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Well, it makes sense, because it's the aura that we emit, that we
yes.
have the same frequency, and that's the person that you get attracted to.
Yes.
So that's that makes sense on that.
Yeah. So she's been doing yoga for about 20 years, and she's a qualified yoga teacher, and we started running a center in Ilford.
Oh right. Okay.
A very successful center, which. Then we had 2 children, got 2 young babies, so that now she teaches from home, and I do yoga. I'm supposed to every day, but I do it usually at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the idea is that as I say, I'm a yoga teacher as well, and I don't do it every day, but I do keep up a slow. Things so the body keeps, in tune with itself. I only say that because I don't do it every day. That's absolutely fine. We have this tendency to feel a bit guilty sometimes, don't we? But
I noticed myself noticing that when I said it, and I'm very health conscious, and again that's because of personal development. I staying on the subject of yoga and health and well-being. I went on an Anthony Robbins course. I don't know if you've ever done any of his courses.
I've not done his courses. I'd love to go to one of his courses.
And about 7 years ago, literally overnight, I gave up meat, chicken, alcohol, sugar, fizzy drinks.
Okay, so your nutrition diet.
I'm very health conscious. Yeah. That's why I look 21, because
of course.
19. I'm 23, but
yes, of course.
Yeah, and so I'm very. And I really loved what you said about you conquer your mind and then you conquer the world, because that effectively is. Yes, sorry.
Yes, I mean, it's
that's
the basics of Sikhi,
Yes.
It makes so. I mean, the amazing thing is that, like yourself, I'm into personal development. I mean, for me, Sikhi is personal development. But it was not until many years later, that I actually consciously thought that, Sikhi. Once you start reading to Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, and you start reading it and going into it, it's all about personal development. It really is. I mean, Sikh means to learn. And it's continuous learning. So spiritually, I found, as I say, the nice thing is we all have an interest of yoga, and
there is a difference between community yoga and other forms of yoga, in the sense that you're working on your body, you're working on your breath, and
yes.
you use mantra, and that's where the Sikh tradition comes into.
Yes.
We use the mantras from the Guru.
Yeah.
And that has an impact on the brain and the brain structure, and also opens the heart. And that's what Guru Ram Das was about, opening the heart and connect to your community and serve. And that really is the difference. Other forms of yoga is wonderful, but sometimes the emphasis is on the physical. If they don't do some meditation, then something is missing.
Yeah.
And they take time. Sometimes they take longer to introduce people into meditation.
Yeah.
Meditating, chanting, and working on your body really works.
Yeah. I think the basics, for a personal thing, is that at least everyone's doing something, and they're working on themselves. That's how I feel. As I say, I started off first with Hatha yoga, and then got introduced to Kundalini yoga. And the nice thing was, because it had the Sikh mantras in there, I could relate to it straight away. So that was on my personal sort of development. But, you know, I get asked so many questions all the time in regards to, you know, how do I make myself slim and this. And these are some Uncle G's, Auntie G's and generally. And, you know, what we'll do is, we probably won't have time today, but I do promise you is that, you know, in the next show, you know, it'd be wonderful if you do come back in. We'll just show you some basic exercise moves that you could do at home, not some exercise that we expect, you know, some simple thing. You know, as I say, going even to Simran in the morning, that's a fantastic meditation. It's meditation of the mind. But so you were saying,
they can come directly to Shepherd's Gurdwara.
Okay, yes.
Aquarium Dawn.
Okay.
11th of November.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
They can come and try it out for themselves.
Yes.
There will be a whole program.
Yes.
And some yoga early morning. So there will be just Waheguru Simran. There will be some meditations, and then in the morning we'll do the reading of Japji, yoga.
Have you got the address? I know. It's Shepherd's Bush Gurdwara, which is 62 Queensdale Road.
59 to 62 Queensdale Road.
Yeah.
W11.
I think it's W11 4SG. I mean, as I say, it's literally 5 to 7 minutes walk from Shepherd's Bush Station, I believe. So.
Yeah, very close to Shepherd's Bush Station.
So you teach there?
Or I teach on a Monday evening.
Oh, right.
6:30 to.
Okay, what we will do, we do have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/It Conscious Living. I'm not sure if it's on your screens today, but as I say, everything that we're talking about today will be on there. Your charity as well, because as I say, I realise time's really just flying. But if you could just tell us a bit about the charity, the homeless, and also, you know, as I say, we will put all your details, but just tell us, you know, a bit about inspiring of things that have happened since you've done.
Yeah, basically we've again started with the first centre in London, and we've now opened 4 centres around the country.
Okay.
And we have teams of volunteer optometrists and dispensing opticians that come and do eye tests.
Oh wow!
You know, through their own time, and if they choose to be paid, they can be paid.
Okay.
And we're always looking for more optometrists and dispensing opticians. So if there's people out there who want to, you know, support the charity, you can go on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, you know, if you're sitting there at home and you say, hey, I've got this skill, as I say, we would definitely want to put you in touch. You know, so.
Yeah, and in terms of
any particular areas that you?
Yeah, we've got 3 centres in London. One in Shepherd's Bush, which you know, we opened recently. We've got one in Victoria in London.
Okay.
One in Liverpool Street in London. And then one in Birmingham. In terms of the milestones, we've, you know, just about a month ago we reached our 5,000 mark. We've actually helped 5,000 homeless people with free eye tests and brand new free glasses. And it's nice. It's nice because just saying that has me get present to the achievement, because even though I'm running the charity now, again it becomes a mundane chore again sometimes, until you sit back and think, wow, this is what's been achieved, and this is what's been created. And you know, again, the vision is, and I know it's going to happen because, you know, the commitments there is we'll have centres throughout all the cities throughout the UK, and you know, yeah, making that difference every day.
That's amazing. I mean, simple thing, you know, as I say, going even to Simran in the morning. That's a fantastic meditation. It's meditation of the mind. But so you were saying,
they can come directly to Shepherd's Gurdwara.
Okay. Yes.
Aquarium Dawn.
Okay.
11th of November.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
They can come and try it out for themselves.
Yes.
There will be a whole program.
Yes.
And some yoga early morning. So there will be just Waheguru Simran. There will be some meditations, and then. In the morning we'll do the reading of Japji, yoga.
Have you got the address? I know it's Shepherd's Bush Gurdwara, which is 62 Queensdale Road.
59 to 62 Queensdale Road.
Yeah.
W11.
I think it's W11 4SG. I mean, as I say, it's literally 5 to 7 minutes walk from Shepherd's Bush Station, I believe. So.
Yeah, very close to Shepherd's Bush Station.
So you teach there?
I teach on a Monday evening.
Oh, right.
6:30 to.
Okay, what we will do, we do have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ICConscious Living. I'm not sure if it's on your screens today, but as I say, everything that we're talking about today will be on there. Your charity as well, because as I say, I realise time's really just flying. But if you could just tell us a bit about the charity, the homeless, and also, as I say, we will put all your details, but just tell us, a bit about inspiring of things that have happened since you've done.
Yeah, basically we've again started with the first centre in London, and we've now opened 4 centres around the country.
Okay.
And we have teams of volunteer optometrists and dispensing opticians that come and do eye tests.
Oh wow!
Through their own time, and if they choose to be paid, they can be paid.
Okay.
And we're always looking for more optometrists and dispensing opticians. So if there's people out there who want to, support the charity, you can go on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, if you're sitting there at home and you say, hey, I've got this skill, as I say, we would definitely want to put you in touch. So.
Yeah, and in terms of
any particular areas that you?
Yeah, we've got 3 centres in London. One in Shepherd's Bush, which we opened recently. We've got one in Victoria in London.
Okay.
One in Liverpool Street in London, and then one in Birmingham. In terms of the milestones, we've just about a month ago we reached our 5,000 mark. We've actually helped 5,000 homeless people with free eye tests and brand new free glasses. And it's nice. It's nice because just saying that has me get present to the achievement, because even though I'm running the charity now, again it becomes a mundane chore again sometimes, until you sit back and think, wow, this is what's been achieved and this is what's been created. And again, the vision is, and I know it's going to happen because the commitments there is we'll have centres throughout all the cities throughout the UK, and making that difference every day.
That's amazing. I mean, it's so nice to hear. I mean, do you have any contact with the people that give the magazine The Big Issue or something?
Yes, we do. Yes, we actually work with them closely in our Birmingham centre, where we actually, people who give out The Big Issue in Birmingham, they're actually homeless people, most of these people.
That's right, yeah, because I'm always doing something. Yeah,
they come in for eye tests as well. So yeah, we're working with The Big Issue and other organisations around the country.
That's lovely. Raghuram, if you could tell us a bit more about the Guru Ram Das project. I know in terms of people who are addicts, you're saying?
Yeah, we worked on, we take yoga, meditation and other alternative therapies to people that are dealing with drug addiction. Domestic violence has been our latest focus. General health to the elderly as well.
Okay.
So this is where I come in, but although in a different setup with chair-based yoga. And,
that's really good, because a lot of people, they do struggle initially to sit on the floor. So that's
more of a Western difficulty sitting on the floor, because we don't have the tradition of
you say that, yeah,
cross-legged. No?
You say that, but I mean the world's becoming global. Literally, it's
comfort.
Yeah, I mean, global. I think you go to any village in the world, I think you're going to find sofas and chairs most of the places.
Well, the Sikhs have a tradition to go to the Gurdwara. Those that go often to the Gurdwara and sitting, and you are born sitting. And
okay, from that point of view,
yes. From that point of view, this is what I struggled at the very beginning. My legs were very rigid. Most Western legs are really very. Sometimes they're very big and very rigid.
Yeah.
And that's mobility and flexibility. By the time you reach 60, it's quite tough.
Yes.
So they cannot sit down on the floor anymore.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where I come in. I was not able to look after my parents. My sister did, and my brother did. They're now gone. So maybe that's my call now, to start helping the elderly with their mobility problems.
Wow. I mean, have you seen a big difference at all in
Yeah, their spirits uplift, and they really quite enjoy the yoga, and it hurts because you have to move the arms a lot.
Yes.
And really stretch, so it helps the spine. So then the fact is they come back, and they hired me for just 10 classes, just come and do 10 classes a term.
Yeah.
And they want me every week to go.
Wow.
Because, they find that they're missing something. But it's
Yes.
also, it touches their heart.
That's amazing.
And, it's open to all communities.
Brilliant. I mean, what I'm hearing today is just people who not only do, normal sort of job that we have to do. We have to live in reality, but it's where they go beyond, and they're not doing anything which none of us cannot achieve. It's so inspiring. They're there. At the end of the day, especially I feel in terms of Sikhi, we should be out there to help the community, to help fellow people. And I think most of us feel it's something which, it takes a big effort. But we can all start. And as I say, there are so many amazing charities which are happening as we speak. And I will definitely take both of your details and, put them on the Facebook page so, we can all, learn something from it. I mean, are there any last messages, Raghurai, that you'd like to say to the Sangat? As I say, it's been inspiring talking to you not only about what you do, but as an individual, because you did mention that you weren't religious or in the sense before, but something must have switched where you felt the spiritual awakening inside you. Because within Sikhi, it's, as I say, we're not there to tell people, but just a quick word. I understand we have to go off really quickly.
It's very basically continue working on yourself and working on your community, so you could take things further, and help them out. And that's the message from the individual through the community to the universal. That's
brilliant. And any last?
Yeah, basically, there's probably many people out there who've got a calling to achieve something. And what I would say is team up with someone who can hold you to account. Because if I was doing this on my own initially and I didn't have my mentor or my coach, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So team up with someone that isn't going to let you off the hook, who's going to hold you to account, who's going to support you in being your word, and achieving what you want to achieve.
That's amazing. Well, thank you both for taking the time to come over here and tell us a bit about your lives. And as I say, we hope to hopefully you'll join us again soon.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Conscious Living, and we'll be on again next week on Thursday. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.